I just want to say, God has been good to me. And been times where I didn't see a way and He made a way. And been times that, things happened and He was there and I was just like, I ain't no way around it, because when nobody else there, like a human being and nothing like that. So, there's no way of me getting out of it, no type of other way. So, I'm like, He's the only person that I know that can make that happen. And, like I said, I believe in God to the fullest, whether you believe in Him or not. Everybody had their own opinion, their own way of thinking and believing, don't believe in everything. So, but, like I said, He's been good to me, and I'm grateful for all that I have, and I'm grateful for, even though I might feel sometimes that I'm not where I want to be, or to have the things that I want to have, just yet. I still grateful for what I do have. Some people out there don't have what I have. Some people don't have food, they don't have clothes, they don't have running water, they don't have a roof over their head, none of that stuff. So, I thank God for all the important essentials in my life, things that I have. I have a roof on my head, I have running water, I have food to eat, I have, clothes, all the different things that a lot of people don't have. And I don't take it for granted. I don't take none of it for granted. I'm grateful for all of it. But like I said, some people out there that don't have that. So, the people that don't have that, I pray for them constantly. I pray for everybody. Everybody is in my prayers. If I can't do nothing else for you, I can pray for you. Like I said, whether you believe in God now, I'm still gonna pray for you. Something's gonna happen. Some kind of something. He's gonna work something out for you. So you have to remember to try to just be patient and just go through and stuff like that. Life gonna throw things at us, and life gonna be hard to juggle with and deal with, but we got to go through it. We got to make it through anyway. And a lot of us out here that's, wondering how we're going to make it from day to day, having a hard time. And we're out here trying to figure out, what it is that you can do or try to do to, try to make it. And there's a lot of things out here that you can do. And some people are not able to do that and stuff like that. And a lot of us don't make excuses. A lot of times we can't do stuff or get stuff done, so. You might want to start your own business. You don't have enough funds for that. You might have to plan for it, or might have to try to save and do stuff for that. Because all your money going to bills and everything else, food and all this stuff going up. So you might want to try to, create something at home, or, like social media and stuff like that, if you are into, being on social media. You might try to create, might try to write you a book, something that you can do, at home and have for the long term. Stuff like that. Like, you might have trying to figure it out. And I'm here myself trying to figure it out. Even though there's a lot of things out here that's available for you to make money, and it might seem fairly easy to make money, that doesn't mean that it works for everybody. Some people, they can go out there and put this stuff into motion, and it happens for them. And even then, it don't happen overnight, but it happens for them. Some of us can try to put it into motion and try and go through it anyway, and it don't happen. Sometimes, it take a while. It don't necessarily mean that things won't happen for us neither, but everything happens different for everybody. Everybody's life is not the same. So, and I do believe that everybody's life is planned out, and we just got to get to that destination of where it's planned out. God already has it planned out. We just got to get there. So, we just got to do what we got to do, to try to survive out here. Because there's a lot of things that's going on. The world is getting in the worst place. And, don't want to say that it's the world, because it's not. It's some of the people in the world, and then some of us that's not doing, that's not bad people, out here in the world. So, there's just a lot going on. And I just say that we just got to try to pray and just try to make it through. Even, like I said, even if you don't believe in God, just try to do the best you can in life and with life. Live your life good and you living good, and that's good. Live your life, you're not where you want to be, you're still doing good, because you might still have some of the things that other people don't have. So, I be at home and stuff like that. But just because I be at home, that don't mean that I don't go through problems. That don't mean that I don't have problems. That don't mean that, a lot of us that don't have problems, that, maybe at home. That doesn't mean that I'm just sitting at home, I'm at home trying to figure life out and trying to figure out better things to do for me in my future. I'm doing that. I'm figuring that out daily. So, just doing a lot of different things, to try to get something going, Like I said, I started back writing again, so I'm trying to get my writing going. I got my YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, which I'm, currently monetized for that channel. Then I got my other 2 YouTube channels. My podcast, I started a podcast channel, YouTube channel. I already had did start the podcast, but I got a YouTube channel for it. And then I got a channel where I do coloring, ASMR coloring and stuff like that. So that's just something I'm doing on social media, But who to say social media gonna be around? Might not be around in the next some years. So with me, doing my writing and working on my writing and trying to get that going, that's something that I can have with or without social media. That's something that can last me with or without social media. So yeah. So in the process, if you're gonna work on something and create something for yourself, make sure it's something that can work long term. So make sure you find something that you can do it on social media, but if something were to happen with social media, you can keep it going outside of social media. Something that you don't have to have social media for. You can do it with or without social media. Try to create something long term, something that you can do long term. Even with like I said, you start something that you do have to have on social media. If you pushing to do it out otherwise outside of social media, like let's say you promote, you're not just promoting on social media, you're going out and promoting your stuff. You're going out and letting people, just giving people, letting people try new samples and doing your stuff and pushing your stuff out to the rest of the world, and they sharing your stuff out. So that's something that you're doing that can profit you outside of social media. You never know how far you can go just doing that. So I always remember that if you at home and you're doing anything on social media or trying to create something on social media, make sure that it's something that you can have long term, something that can last you outside of social media. Because like I said, social media can go down at any time. It can be gone at any time, So, but for those of us that need an outlet, social media is an outlet for a lot of us to make money, you know what I'm saying? Don't let it be your only option, the only thing that you have. Try to fall back on. Try to work on something outside of that as well. But I'm just saying, a lot of us, that's our outlet, to try to, create something or just have something to be fun, like stuff like that. So, basically just do what works for you and make sure that you have something that you can fall back on long term. And also, a lot of people don't know about investing and how to invest and stuff like that. And a lot of people out here doing, investing and doing stuff like that. So that's something that you can do too. That's something that you can take some of your money and put in. Let your, invest your money. Your money can work for you on the back end. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that you can have that's can last you long term. Something like that too. Yeah, the market be up and down, but that's that's same way with life, up and down. But at least the more you put in that have over there, it can be working for you. So if you're not into it, if you want to get into investing and you don't know where to start, just do it little at a time. Just find stocks that look up stocks that that pay a dividend, like Apple stocks, Amazon. But I haven't. Well, I'm not gonna say. Well, Amazon pay a dividend, but I haven't received a dividend from them yet. So I'm just gonna name the ones that I received dividends from. So, Apple. What else? Let me see. Procter and Gander, and there's a few more that as I said, pay a dividend. So you can invest small. You can start with investing a little bit in it at a time. You don't have to go out investing big money into it. You know what I'm saying? So you can just put little money in there at a time And just try to let it build up. Just work on it. You know what I'm saying? Start small until you get to learning it more and hang of it. And then you make it take a chance and invest big. Start putting big here and there. So, just start small. So, but in the end, it'll be something great that you can do. Have your money working for you on the back end, along with everything that you may be doing. But and like I said, it's a lot. So like I said, as long as you got God on your side, you can't lose. You can't lose. You cannot lose. And even if you don't believe in Him, once again, like I said, as long as you got yourself on your side and you root for yourself and you doing for yourself, you still can't lose. So either way it go, like I said, especially those of us that we can't lose. You know what I'm saying? Either you won't if you don't try something, you won't know unless you try. You won't know if something worked for you. You won't know how something can do you some good, whether it went to last or not, unless you try. If you attempt to try it, then you can go from it. You might, you have something that that you started. Whether it lasts long or not, you know that you tried and, done it. You know what I'm saying? So, you're capable of doing things. You just got to try to figure out, what you can do and what you can't do. And stuff like that. We all have things that we could try and do. Now, a lot of things may not be for you to try, but some things are. Some things it wouldn't hurt you to try. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, at the end of the day, like they said, if you don't do it yourself, then it won't get done. So if you want that, live the life you want to live, you got to get out and do the things yourself. Nobody going to do it for you. Nobody going to come save you, like they say. So if you don't get out and do this stuff yourself and work for yourself, then you won't be able to live the life that you want to live for yourself. So in the end, we got to do what we got to do for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. So, those of us that believe in God, we have God in ourselves, and those that don't, you have yourself in the end. So, it's just, life. And we just got to make it through. And at the end of the day, we all got one thing in common with you. Rich, poor, whatever. We all out here trying to make it. That's what we all out here trying to do. We in the same boat trying to make it. We all out here trying to, create some kind of life or have, keep the life we got going and doing to get what we trying to get to and, just survive and make it in this world. Because I know there's a lot of things going on, stuff like that. So we got to just try to do what we can to make it and to survive. But the way the world is now, you basically trying to survive, basically. Because things ain't got so bad. You can't even walk somewhere or do something without even risk getting killed or attacked or anything happening to you. Kids out here in the world, they're not safe. There's all types of different things going on. And if it ain't, it's, the climate change is getting worse. And all this stuff is going on. So, yeah, we basically just survive. We're just trying to live to survive. That's what we're going through currently. But we just gotta keep ourselves first and pray and do what we gotta do to make it through. And that's all we can do. Remember that. That's all you can do. And for me, I got everybody in my prayers, everything, everywhere. No matter what, I know you or not, or whether as a storm is occurring and it's not over here, God, I'm praying. I'm praying for everything. Myself, other people, life, just everything in general. I'm praying. Just remember that you are in my prayers. Regardless of your life and what you got going. You have a good life, you still are in my prayers. So, just keep yourself prayed up and keep, and pray for others and have others in your prayers as well. You never know that. Now, you can't have everybody praying for you or praying over you. But my prayers are genuine, very genuine. I never pray on nobody's downfall. If I got to do that, then I just rather not pray for you at all. But I got to just pray for something to happen to you. I'm not going to do that. My prayers are pure and genuine. So, just know that when I'm praying over you or praying for you, it's good. You ever heard them where they say, God have all of us his children, where he have those specifically that he touches. So whatever that they do, it's trying to go, everything they get touched, trying to go. So, like what they call the golden child, so, or the chosen child of God. I'm one of those, I really feel like that, because there been times where, like I said, I didn't have something, and it appeared there, no lie, it appeared there, and I'm trying to figure out how to get there, and it was there. And I'm like, I know that he's there. I know that I'm there. I feel, a lot of times that I'm that chosen child. I know that I'm that chosen child. So, like I said, if I'm praying over you or for you, remember that it's pure and it's genuine and it's for good cause and good reason. And that, you never know what good might happen for you. So, and like I said, God don't play about us. His golden child, he don't play about. So, yeah, just remember that.